You're listening to Hackneyed, a weekly podcast where my friend Skye Ferguson...
Sorry, I have immediately made this about me.
...and I, Keep the Change Cook, get to know each other better while sharing stories and lessons learned while living in London's trendiest borough.
So, how do you two know each other? I'm his mother, thank you very much.
I'm your co-host and rusty car enthusiast, Aidyn Gilbert.
You know, so it's been up my crack all day long.
Along the way, we'll discuss our world's hottest topics, such as wine from Lidl.
Is it a peach vibe?
This is a peach vibe.
And, of course, the latest chart toppers. Tune in this week as Skye asks,
Hey, do you think I could have the matching pan?
And I confirm,
You know, I can sometimes lean dramatic unnecessarily, and that is something I need to address when it then becomes me lashing out at other people. So I love you dearly. Don't take any of it as gospel because I'm a crazy person.
haven't had enough of Hackneyed Podcast yet? Well, as of episode 6, we've now gone video. Stream our gorgeous faces in crystal clear HD on YouTube and Spotify video. Woo!
Welcome back to the pod.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Everyone loves us.
It's a hit!
Guys, I'm back on board. I was close to quitting. And I'm here.
I was mean to you the last time we recorded.
Just because I thought no one will listen and it's wasting my time. But turns out she was wrong.
Mama.
Before we go any further, we'd just love to say a big shout out to our first sponsor, Celsius Live Fit.
I always see these on TikTok, so I wanted one.
Oh, that is actually really nice.
Oh, peach vibe.
Is it a peach vibe?
This is a peach vibe.
Do you want to try my one?
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start.
Okay, let's just talk about the reception of the pod.
Let's talk about launch day.
The fact that we were meant to launch on a day and then we both just didn't even message each other.
Yeah.
But meant to be.
Because I was at a 5-year-old's birthday, my niece. Ooh, that was tough.
I was like, why were you at a 5-year-old's birthday?
Every now and then I do recognize my family and trudge to Reading.
Good of you.
It was this
You
moment.
were there for ages.
So I went down and it's like 2 p.m. in a community hall in Caversham with 20 screaming 5-year-olds. And I got to bed at 2:30 the night
I was
before.
going to say, where you hung out.
I'm wearing the bodysuit I was out in the night before still.
That leather one that you wore to Body Works.
No, like a little leotard, like a black leotard.
Cute.
You know, so it's been up my crack all day long.
We can
Very
only
painful.
imagine.
Yeah. And I'm at this birthday party
she's too loud. I don't want the kids.
Yeah,
No,
it's tough.
that's not the one.
And what's nice is it's a hard in and a hard out. You know, it starts at 2, it ends at 4, and they are leaving at 4.
Okay, I think we need to bring that in.
Yeah, actually, we really do.
I would love that.
Rhea and I, we've kind of had enough of the house parties at ours.
Yeah. To be honest, I was tidying up for you to come around and do the pod, and I just thought, how do they have guests all the time? I couldn't be asked doing this.
It's a lot when you're going to bed when you're finally getting people out of your house at 4 a.m. And you're like, ooh, this is the second time in a row we've done this on a Friday. We need to reel it in.
What do the neighbours think?
They're very understandable. Actually, we've never heard a peep from them. But we No, you can hear. I heard their landline ringing in the living room today. First of all, they have a landline.
Outrageous.
But we don't say anything when they decide to do 6 hours of Whitney Houston karaoke, the same 6 Whitney songs plus 1 Adele. And they just do it back to back.
Good measure. Everyone just has their song.
Yeah, it's
Funny.
Yeah, but launch day was really exciting. When it was the first person messaging being starting to quote it back to me. I was like, oh my God, hilarious. Because it's also because we've been sitting on that for a year.
Yeah. For it being very delayed, I liked that it came out 1 year on.
It's either had to be that or
Never.
Yeah. Side note, audience, I keep angry eyeing those Le Creuset because I've now bought, in preparation for a whole other creative project, Mastering the Art of French Cooking by Julia Child, a 1964 edition, 4th edition. And basically every piece of French cooking is in a casserole dish.
Well, you know the original story.
Yeah.
Then I end up with, Sedona has a whole set.
Of the
I
little-
end up with 1 orange pan. And you know what? I keep going to our house and I keep seeing the other orange pan and thinking, I need to get that back, but being too scared to ask her. And I went the other day and we were just having a great time. Everyone's in a good mood. And I just thought, yeah, I'm going to ask. And I was just like, hey, do you think I could have the matching pan? And she said, yes. So we give it a good old scrub.
Yeah.
And then we're also at the same time.
Is it the dirtier one?
Yeah, obviously. I need to get it scrub.
Nah.
It's just been sitting on a shelf. So I'm like trying to clean it out, but then also she's cooking a roast at the same time. So picture this, it's kind of chaotic.
Not in the pot.
Not in the pot, but also why am I getting involved? Anyway, so I put it to one side.
Why are you doing it now? Yeah.
Yeah, classic me. I put it to one side and then it's time to leave. Me and my mum are going, like my mum's going to the train station. So I just like pop the lid on, put it in a bag. I'm like, whew, it's pretty heavy. Walk all the way to the bus. Get on the bus for about half an hour. Get off the bus, go into Elephant and Castle, go down, waiting on the platform. Pick up the bag to get on the train. And I'm just like, why is it so wet? Opened the lid, full of water.
Is it like the soaking water still?
Like full of water.
Oh my God.
I was just carrying this cruise across London full of water. And then I'm like, this is so embarrassing. I can't empty it.
No.
Because people will be like, what are you doing?
I'm just washing the floors of the overground.
But I think worth it.
First of all, that whole story is giving like old English fable. You know, like
You know what they say?
when you try and steal a Le Creuset from your sister,
You will be dripping water
you
across
will
London.
feel the weight of the guilt you have for depriving her of excellent cast iron French cookware.
She's got 6. She's fine.
Yeah, but look, don't
Don't get involved.
Don't get me started on Le Creuset. I was once at a birthday party, like the whole. I'm such like an angry Tory sometimes. I love the left wing guys. I'm not.
I love the left wing guys.
I'm very liberal. But the whole thing of just like putting Le Creuset branding on anything and adding another 20 pounds to the price tag is wild to me. And I see your Le Creuset like utensil holder on and your Le Creuset butter dish you've shown me. You've got the Le Creuset mugs.
What else have I got? No, I don't have the mugs, but I do have a spoon holder.
The initial thing that Le Creuset is cast iron covered in enamel that is meant to be like strong enough to do long roasting in.
Get it for your wedding present, never buy it
That's
again.
the only thing you need. You don't need the
You don't need a spoon holder, full stop.
You don't need the Le Creuset.
But I would just like to say the spoon holder is actually the only thing I've ever bought brand new.
Yeah, no,
Everything
I know
else,
you're a Facebook Marketplace girl for the rest of it, which fair enough, but I'm fighting for my life out in the wild to get one of those like classic.
I'm going to get you one.
I'll show you the really ugly like beaten to shit one in Bognor Regis I might buy this weekend while we're down in Chichester.
That is hilarious holiday admin. Mm-hmm. Tell us about your Easter plans.
They're not even relevant. We've got a lot to get through still.
Me, every time I try something new, he doesn't
The
like it.
control freak steps in.
To be fair though, you're f***ing editing it, so fine. I'm going to tell you
Okay, yeah.
about my favourite responses to the podcast.
Mm.
So one of my sister's friends said that she loved the story about Asbo Boy, the graffiti, with my brother, and that she was at our house when my brother went and got the poster and stuck it up, and it said like boy 14 in £45,000 graffiti orgy, and she went home and asked her mum what an orgy was. She was like 5.
Oh.
Luckily her mum's cool, so I think that was probably fine.
Hopefully your mom styled it out. Let's not touch that one yet, my 5-year-old daughter.
In the context, actually. The best one, though, I have become very good at getting last-minute wedding invites to weddings I have no business being at. So we went away for Ned's birthday with all of their friends. And obviously, Luke and Becca just had such a good time with me.
Aww.
They were like, what are you doing next weekend? Do you want to come to our wedding? And it was in London. So went to the wedding in the evening. Yes, I was an extra. So mother of the bride, never met her before, on one of the most important days of her life, came up to me on the dance floor and said, I've listened to your podcast.
It's wild.
Hello. So Denise, shout out to Denise.
Denise.
I don't know if I've talked about this before, so oracle of the fucking pod, tell me if I have. Mm-hmm. No doubt you will. This isn't my first podcast.
All you've ever told me is that people have been banging pots and pans together and clamoring for you to step within their recording
been
studio.
Down there and I go out on the balcony.
You hear these like screams and shouting. Yeah, okay.
I had a podcast in, let's say, 2013.
Oh, wow.
And it was
pioneering the
yeah. Was
the
it
art
even a
form.
thing? Maybe when podcasts were
You and Ira
new.
Glass.
Yeah. Serial and the other one.
You and Sarah Koenig. Yeah. This American Life.
It was called Funky Popcorn.
Oh.
My sister will never let me forget it. And it was with my friends Karen and Nidhi. And we were like, we used to go to the cinema together and we were like,
Film
let's
review.
do a review podcast. We went to see The Jungle Book and recorded maybe one like 10-minute episode. But yeah, Funky Popcorn, it still has a Facebook page. So do with that what you will.
Well, maybe we retool the Funky Popcorn Facebook page for our podcast. We won't get too much into your side of this, but we've also both experienced a couple of waves of immediate anxiety on how brazen we've been in referencing certain people in certain lights.
I feel like I thought I was really careful.
I have been
Fast and loose doesn't
all over the shop.
I mean, to be honest, for the last year, I have been saying, are you sure you don't want to cut this?
Reel this in.
Just like checking, are you sure you don't want to cut this?
So the reason I bring this up is day of launch. There's various different characters throughout my friend group who like to stir the pot a little bit. Theo, I'm talking about you, honey.
He's not going to not name names.
Your first mention with love. And in the trailer, I make a reference to someone being a himbo. And he takes that and runs with it on his Instagram stories. And he's like...
Oh, I didn't see that. Well, I'm not friends with him, but I want to see
He also
this.
put it on close friends, you
Okay.
know, because he's at least, you know, he knows what he's doing. He at least...
I wanted screenshots.
Does this
That's what I'm
without-
trying to say. Wait, but it wasn't him, was it?
Theo wasn't the one I'm calling a himbo.
Yeah, but did Theo know that?
Yes.
Oh,
No,
so
Theo
he's third party getting involved.
Well, he knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We all know. It's Alex Simpson. Hi, everyone. I was talking about Alex Simpson. He knows. We all know. So then Alex Simpson, all he sends me that day is just a screenshot Googling, what's a himbo? And I get nothing else. And I'm like, is he mad?
Should I maybe stop
Should
talking
I
about
not
everyone?
My flatmate Rihanna, love of my life, hates podcasts. And in one day, gets through the first 4. And she's like, I always get bored. I can't stand podcasts. Love this. Which is really sweet.
On the subject of, like sort of like talking about other people, whatever. I was talking about this with Abby yesterday, Abby Lewis Miller. Second shout out on the pod, full name. And she went, yeah, you guys really did go in on Jessie and Lenny. And I was like, full manners. I know, I was like, that's not what I mean.
Oh, we're really worried about Jessie Ware.
Listening to the podcast.
Her ears pricking up. Her fucking PA getting the Google alert. Number 35 on the arts podcasts of Spotify.
Then after she was like, but I think you're right, they do interrupt their guests a lot.
I mean...
I think they're the people we were nicest about. Oh my God, maybe we'll go on Table Manners next.
Oh, the response has been amazing. It's been so heartwarming. And it's also...
Humbling for me. Actually.
Humbling for her because she didn't believe in the process, but so vindicating for me for a stupid creative outlet that I have poured like an unreasonable amount of time into.
I mean, you are doing it all.
The editing process, like, I wish I could actually add up all the hours that went into episodes 1 and 2
Please
of
no.
editing, because that would frighten me. Let's start with the unhinged single night. Let's talk about that. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get into that.
So my sister pitched me at a singles night.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to pitch you. Mm-hmm. And somebody that I knew who was in the crowd said that mine was the best presentation.
Yours
Sorry,
was.
I have immediately made this about me.
Surprise, 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 surprise. Well, so the really beautiful, man who was...
The one who got pitched first. And then his friend was like,
The girl-
you have to buy Aidyn a drink.
Yes.
At the night that I got pitched, the straight night, he had pitched her and...
He's also an aspiring stand-up comedian. We can't throw stones because we also are.
Well, basically, the thing is, she posted it on a comedy group, and that's where I found it. So everyone applying was stand-ups, basically.
Right.
But yeah, he had pitched his friend, and he knew her because she is best friends with his ex-girlfriend, basically. And I was like...
Which is
Yeah,
odd.
interesting. Okay, call me unimaginative. But I was just like, if you like her that much, why don't you just fucking go out with her? But then we go to the queer night and she's pitching him. And I'm like, okay, if you guys think each other are that fucking great.
Get over it.
Just
also,
have sex and move on. And then you don't have to be friends anymore.
For context, I feel like we haven't really contextualized this very well. It's like this night that's been organized by two female comedians. And the whole bit is that like we're getting off our phones and we're meeting people in real life, but you have the safety net of your friend gets up there with you on stage.
So you have a PowerPoint and you make a PowerPoint about your friend and then you pitch them to the room of single people.
And it's like a real sliding scale of how prepared people are.
As you said, like half of the people are like stand-up, so it's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Basically just people wanting airtime. Hello.
God, that's so gross. Well,
but yeah, those people aside, something good happened at the end, didn't it, for you? I don't even really know about this.
We haven't talked. Well, so what happens is we'll put aside the weird interaction I had with the guy who's the conceited one, who's really good looking, because that was just very uncomfortable. He bought me a drink. We had terrible conversation in the interval. It was very strange.
But also his friend was like, you have to buy Aidyn a drink. And he came over and went, my friend says I have to buy you
obligated
a drink.
to. He was like, my friend says I'm obligated to buy you a drink. And I was like, fierce.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
I love obligation. The last one to get pitched is this adorable man. And his really funny, like, theater kid bestie pitches him. It's very funny. And because there's a lot of, like, thirst trappy photos in the presentation. Okay, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. At the end, the presenter would ask every person on stage, have you seen anyone tonight that you fancy? I played it very coy because I hadn't.
And she very pointedly at the end went, so how do you two know each other? I'm his mother, thank you very much. And I won't hear another word about it. Guys, I've broken him. I've spent months writing jokes. Nothing got him like that.
I mean, I don't know. I won't use his name on the podcast because who knows where this is going. But he then says at the end, he thought I was cute. And that's very hot when someone is that confident.
Yeah.
Be like, yes,
on stage.
you on stage. I'm like, Thankfully, I didn't actually do that because there was a lot of like kind of thirst trappy images in his slideshow. He instantly gets swarmed by these two very run of the mill like theater gays, and I was sort of like,
meow, mama.
And I basically wait for the group of run of the mill theater gays to like start to lose wind a little bit, and I just got in there.
I actually, do you know what? I didn't even think about it again because I just thought it was probably such a waste of everyone's time. I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. But yeah, long story short, we went for like a first date a week or so after at the Spursto. It was really cute. He was super charming and like we had good chemistry. It was really lovely. We had a little kiss goodnight. Super cute. And then a couple of weeks ago, we went on date 2 just before. The thing is, he's now leaving to Scotland for 2 months to go work. On a secret show. And
it's also like really over London, which doesn't bode well for me.
But you had a second date.
We had a second date.
And
I was a slag.
A sleepover!
But then he snored all night long, so I didn't get any sleep.
Oh.
He told me it's because he was really exhausted. He doesn't usually snore.
I snore.
Do you?
Well, I actually think this is part of a whole bigger problem we can talk about another time. But I like wake myself up like...
Oh, shit.
I think I might have sleep apnea, to be honest.
Oh, God, you got to get the CPAP.
It's a real... As if my life couldn't get any more tragic. I'm sleeping with a fucking machine on my face. No. I was just going to say, this will be so great for me if it works out. Again, back to me. Let's make it about me.
Make it about Skye.
If you guys get together, hello, I fucking pitched you.
What was really fun was the rest of the week, my one punchline for everyone was, I've had bisexual sex. And they're like, you had a 3-way with a woman? I'm like, no, I had sex with a bi guy.
Was it Rhea or Skye?
Rhea had an excellent follow. I was like, I'm bi now. And Rhea's like, oh, God, no.
I know.
She's like, you can't be bi. She's like, I can't be having to chase you out of my bed. Aidyn, get out of here. Not tonight. I just become like a sex pest.
Fuck me. I wouldn't be your friend anymore either.
If I started having sex with women, it would be over.
Yeah, I'm not interested in being friends with anyone that has sex with women apart from women.
Oh gosh, we'll do a whole Patreon special where we unpack.
Do an hour of my therapy session.
Yeah, we'll get Alicia, your therapist, to dial in.
Funny that you know her name.
It was really, really cute, actually. I was very like, ooh, except for the snoring. That is like, if I don't sleep, Frankie snored like a f***ing chainsaw. Jack never snores.
1 point for Jack.
Neris never snores. Actually,
That is so French and chic of her.
Neris and I, some of the best sleeps I've had in my life in bed with her.
Oh, that's adorable.
We sleep really well together.
That's so cute.
I love you, Neris. I'm going to address... Later on, I need to address...
We're going to have a public apology statement down the line from Aidyn.
Truly, madly, deeply.
We're invited for dinner, and I just don't think we
I've
can
got
go.
the file of facts, because we need to put dates in. She's
I know,
followed
but
up again.
I don't.
No, we have to go.
Well, they obviously haven't listened to the
No,
podcast.
and we're gonna.
Otherwise,
I'm gonna intercept their Spotify and like block our pod or something from them.
I'm gonna sabotage you, and I'm gonna go in the middle of dinner. Alexa,
No,
play Hackneyed,
No.
episode 4. No, I'm joking.
No, 5. 5 is the really
Episode
bad one.
5.
Oh my god.
Actually, something that I feel like got a good reception, which I think is quite random, is the video. Me showing you the video of me going to the dentist.
Yeah.
Saying that this mouth splint changed my life.
Henry was crying laughing.
Funny. Well, guys, update. It did change my life for all the wrong reasons. Have I told you?
You've alluded to this.
Okay, so basically, a few months ago, I recorded a Instagram story. Of course I did. And my sister was like, sorry, but why have you got a lisp? And I was like, what do you mean? And then I went and watched it back and I could see what she meant. And I was like, that's so weird. And then other things I noticed, like, I thought my cheeks were getting too chubby for my mouth. And because my mouth was always bitten and my tongue was really, really sore. Ooh. And then more recently, I noticed that when I was eating certain things, they're just flapping out of my mouth. So basically, long story short, I've done some Googling and I have developed an open bite. So my teeth have moved or my jaw has moved, and it can be because of a badly fitted splint. Now, the bad news is to get this rectified is going to cost me thousands of pounds. And I get a lot of things covered from work, but not orthodontistry.
Ooh. That's wild, Diva.
It's quite funny. Like, if I'm trying to eat something small, it's just flapping.
Is this why you spit the salmon all down yourself in episode 4?
No, I think that was just me being embarrassing. I was having a really sensory overload moment when it was raining and it was too hot this week. And I was like, right, I need to pull my jacket off, but I don't have another hand. So I was like, I'll just bite it. Couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. Flapping around in my dentures. I know.
Skye, like, when are you going to catch a break?
Kate's always like, if you always go looking for a problem, you will find it. And I think that she's right. That is me.
Oh, speaking of being overwhelmed in the rain, another great piece of feedback we got from another bisexual man.
Who's the other bisexual man?
Hi, Dan. Hot Dan. Hot Dan. We were sitting... Hot Dan!
That's cool.
We were sitting in the park on Saturday night, last Saturday sort of evening, and he came sidled up. We were having a good old sing-song. I haven't seen him since like New Year's Day. And I'm being like, I'm in my, everyone gets to listen to the podcast now. If you come within a foot of me, I'm listen to the pod.
Okay,
everyone.
That's fantastic.
So he finally does listen to the pod, and I get a message from him. He was like, your podcast is so chaotic, I just missed my stop on the overground and had to ride one back the other way. And I was like,
put that on the poster.
give that girl a coconut.
Give that girl a coconut.
Don't know what that means.
You ever watch Coronation Street?
I mean, sometimes.
I got a weird YouTube recommendation. It was an hour-long compilation of Bette Lynch's return to Coronation Street in 2002. And she's like this incredibly bonkers...
You're like, I got a weird recommendation as if your YouTube isn't f***ing insane.
This is pretty run-of-the-mill for me. But it's this like northern woman...
yeah, Coronation Street.
Yep, Coronation Street. And she calls every man cock. Take me down to Weatherfield, cock.
Cock.
I'm going to Weatherfield, cock. Pub called the Rover's Return, Coronation Street, if you know it.
She's just calling men cock.
Good for her. Ahead of her time.
Keep the change, cock.
Keep the change, cock.
I just feel like she might have been saying something else and you're getting it wrong.
No, she's saying
Okay,
cock.
sorry.
It's wild.
What does this have to do with Hot Dan? Nothing.
No, I don't know how we got there.
I've got a question for you. You and Ree went to a straight man's birthday party.
This is a story.
I can't imagine knowing a straight man, let alone one of them having a birthday.
Well, so it was Charlie's birthday. Lovely Charlie. Nearest
Oh,
Charlie.
is this who it is?
Yeah. No. But the cast is important.
Okay.
So it's Charlie.
I just thought it might be someone.
No, not a rogue. I have a good relationship with Charlie. I'm like, I've been to his birthday every year I've known him.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And it's him and his best friend. There's this
one
like
he
best
lives
friend
with?
trio. Charlie, Jesse, Jamie. They all used to live together in Finsbury Park. But it was Jamie and Charlie have the same birthday. So it was on their actual day. And I was like, oh, I'll bring Rhea along because like maybe there'll be some like nice straight man to introduce her to, you know, and she's a little bit more on the prowl than you are.
Well, that's not hard.
It's at this Chinese restaurant in like right by the Emirates Stadium. And the whole time I'm like, is this just sort of a heterosexual spawning place that just straight men sort of have to, you know, kind of do their pilgrimage back to the Emirates stadium every year, just sort of.
You were like, straight men football must be a thing.
Must be a thing. But we're having lovely time. It's very overwhelming. So it's a tiny restaurant. It's like 30 people screaming. You like can't hear yourself think. And as we're there, this man comes in late, like 6 foot something, probably maybe even taller than Charlie, and Charlie's like 6'3", 6'4". Beautiful man, like gorgeous bone structure, really well dressed, like tasteful, oversized. You can tell there's like a rockin' bod underneath. And
I wouldn't be able to look in his direction.
I'm a brazen person, and even I was like,
You were cowering.
Rhea and I. He sits down next to Rhea, and we both just look at each other like. We're like that,
SOS.
We're like that meme of Nicole Kidman in Big Little Lies when Meryl Streep screams at the table and she just goes. We're just.
He must get that everywhere
He's
he
like,
goes.
his name's also Charlie. He's never gonna listen to the podcast. Don't worry. And we only have
So
we only
you
have
hope.
favorable things to say about you, Charlie.
I'm gonna have to
We're
see
getting a
photo.
little bit of information. I don't have access to images
He
of him.
doesn't have photos online because he's too good looking.
Well, you'll find out why I don't know him online. We're getting sort of bleeding in information. He's so friendly. He's so gracious. He's very polite. It's like share plates. He's passing them around. He's
Oh, no, thank you. I don't eat.
like Charlie is so handsome and so like straight Charlie, so handsome, so good looking, like completely, cast in the dark by this man. So we've now had like a bottle of wine each, Rhea and I. So we're like
A bottle of wine.
I'm like, I'll talk to him. I like turn into that like scary aunt at a New England barbecue. Like, who are ya? Why are you here? What you doing? You know, like full, and so I find out his name. I find out he's the brother of Jamie, the best friend. Jamie is also like so handsome, built like a Greek god, so handsome. Gentle giant, complete sweetheart, love him to pieces. And we're talking, and he's like, what do you do? Rhea works in marketing. I'm like a weird quasi-content creator. And he's like, oh, interesting. I've just started dating this guy. And the air escapes from Rhea and I's tires in like the most comedic way. We're both just like face crack of the century. I go, like...
Suddenly, relaxes a little.
Yeah, like...
Aidyn, on the other hand.
Aidyn goes through the 5 stages of grief in like a millisecond. Anger, denial, begging, like whatever the other 4 are.
Did you think he was straight?
Yeah, I fully thought he was straight. I mean, it makes sense. He was a little too pretty. I also almost beat Charlie to death. I was like, you've known this? I've known you since 2021.
He's a
Who the was that, and why haven't I known about that? How dare you?
I'm a bit scared.
If I hadn't been like sick and hungover, I think I would have got physical with Charlie. Anyways, I love you, Charlie. We have an apology coming.
Scrapes.
Yeah, I run this through PR. We find out what he does for work. He works in music composition, like writing music. Fabulous. So cool. This is when the wheels come off the carriage. And Rhea also tells this story really well because she suddenly sees where I'm going with this, and I can sort of see her in my periphery go, all right, I'm gonna have to back Aidyn up on this one. So we have this running joke about we want to create like a kind of concept comedy pop album that's like kind of ripping off a Charlie XCX Confidence Man sort of hyper pop dance Ketty vibe, and it's never really gonna happen, but it's just sort of a nice running joke. We've got 3 album titles at this point. We've got like track listings, like
We've recorded the whole thing.
we've got like
I have seen a bit a bit of your bit of that, and it's really good. She's on the phone. You make her.
It's
her a little
kind
video.
of
It's
that.
really
I mean,
cool.
that's a real song we're doing. It
Okay,
too. That's
but
like an
wait, you
actual
writing your
song.
own songs for this one?
Well, in theory, we don't.
Sorry,
That's
we're
the thing
getting
is
off
we don't have music writing skills. So I see
Opportunity.
homosexual music composition. Also, side note. So when he was talking about I've started dating this guy who's a content creator, he's like, yeah, we're on a skiing trip together, and he's like, let's take some photos, and he just takes his shirt off, and I'm like, oh wow, do you just do that? And I'm there like, yeah. Hot gay men who want attention online take their top off. Charlie, we get it.
Sorry, I'm a bit lost.
Sorry, I'm jumping a lot of tracks. The Celsius, guys, I'm getting a lot of energy.
Woo!
Woo!
I think you missed a bit. Go back to the bit where he says he's a music. What does he do? A music producer?
Before he tells us what his job is,
Right.
we tell him what our jobs are. I say
Yes,
I'm a
yes,
fake
yeah.
content creator. He then goes, oh, funny, I started
dating
dating a
this
guy
guy.
who's a content creator.
Carry on.
And then like the anecdote he follows up with was they're on skiing holiday and this guy he started dating takes his top off for like hot ski wearing, every gay guy who goes skiing and has a nice bod like does a shirtless moment at the top of the slope or whatever.
Okay.
And I'm over here like as if those photos weren't on the Hinge that you matched with. Like, come on.
No more Celsius for you.
Wow. Anyways.
Is that the end?
No, that's not. Well, no, that's not the end. So then I bring up the stupid album, the stupid
Yes.
joke. And Ree knows where I'm going with it. And she's like, she's thinking to herself, Aidyn, you're about to make an absolute ass of yourself. He's going to feel insulted by this because like his real job is music composition. And I'm pitching him a joke of that. He's like, ha ha ha, like essentially graciously engages with us for a little bit. And then I half jokingly go, so I'll get your contact details and we'll follow up on that. And he almost directly just turns away and like engages in another conversation. Yeah.
So
To
no
be
numbers
expected.
were exchanged.
No.
I really need to pee. That Celsius has gone right through me.
I need a breather.
Okay. I'm going to go to the loo.
Yeah.
You're going to be all right, babe.
I need to be like sectioned.
I will happily do that. Sorry, but we're going to have to cancel our sponsorship with Celsius because it doesn't
Woof.
agree with me.
Yeah. I'm back. I think I'm back. After,
Funny.
guys, I just had a little bit of a moment. I got a little overwhelmed.
And I was just like, what is happening in the story?
There was just another funny anecdote from Spain. Vince of Nate and Vince fame. Vince said this of Ollie. Sort of, you know how sort of a upper middle class
Glamorous divorcee chic.
would be in would be in some vineyard in the south of France discovering a Beaujolais
In a different decade.
or even today, but yeah, in Vince's case, a different decade, and would just go, oh, this is my find for the weekend. This vintage of Beaujolais, this is my find. He just held Ollie by his shoulders at one point and said, I think you're my find for this weekend. And it was just a very organic, beautiful moment of
Perfect.
people coming together and
Two great
appreciating each
characters.
other. Yeah.
I went to Morocco.
How was Morocco? It looked beautiful.
So we went like surfing and yogaing.
You can surf?
Can you surf?
No.
Well, I can
I
surf better
barely
than you.
swim.
You can't surf without your noodle.
They're not allowing me out in open water.
I can kind of surf. I can stand up sometimes.
Cool.
There was some misogyny going on. I
From
would say.
who? The surf boys to Kate?
You can't, basically, like, from the instructors. And Kate was like, can I go out the back? And they were kind of like, are you sure? And then going around to, like, every single other guy in the group, like, do you want to come? And they've got these, like, big fat beginners boards. Like, no. Anyway, obviously she gets out there and smokes them all.
Oh, well done, Kate.
I had some good days, but then I also made a friend and I was in the beginners group and we just splashed around in the water together,
That's
really.
nice.
And then I left and she texted me saying that the instructor said she was really good without me. So I wasn't distracting her.
It's like we're back to third grade.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Sex and the City 2?
Yes.
Was it like that film? Because they shot it all in, it's supposed to be Abu Dhabi, but it was all shot in Morocco.
I have to say, I fucking love Just Like That, the
It's
remake.
so
and it's
bad, but it's
coming.
so watchable.
It's coming back. There's more.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bad. It's like out of body. Is this real? And I fucking love
Yeah.
it.
First big problem, we've taken a show that worked really well in a 20-minute format and we've made it an hour. Like the original, it was 23 minutes long.
Yeah.
And they were fitting way more in. And now it's an
Yeah.
hour and two things happen.
Yeah.
we'll say it till we're blue in the face. It doesn't work without Kim Cattrall. Like,
No.
the energy doesn't work without the four of them. You need the archetypes.
Well, did it come out in lockdown? Is that why we liked it as well? Because we had nothing to do.
Yeah. It came out
was
tail
smart.
end of the second one, I think.
Yeah.
And the only thing that really keeps it together is Cynthia Nixon is such a good actor, and Sarah Jessica Parker is such a good actor. Unfortunately, Kristen Davis has lost the plot.
Is that...
That's Charlotte.
Charlotte.
She's like doing a drag impression of Charlotte at this point. It's so crazy.
Wait, I don't know if this is pod fod, but you were going to tell me about when you went as a bringer for Tom.
Well, Tom was great. Tom was really good. I assume
Very
you've
funny.
seen his new bit with the
Yes.
the being in your 30s.
Yeah.
So funny. And not to diminish how funny he is. It was a Monday night set. Like 4 people had canceled, thank God. So it was livable. The guy said it from the top. He started this night because it's his second time investing big for because I don't know how getting an Edinburgh show works, but apparently it's a F ton of money. Mm-hmm. So he's put 10 grand in to have an Edinburgh show again this year.
Sorry, this is the guy that runs the night.
The MC, running the night.
Right.
He's like, I've started this because I need somewhere to like workshop the parts of the Edinburgh show. And he's just doing a style of comedy that it's like very paused, very awkward, very deprecating, very, very like introduce a theme that is so out of the place. We're just supposed to laugh at how random it is, but it isn't funny, so we don't laugh. Or there's like some uncomfortable laughter because we're all getting
Not
edgier
sure
and
what to
edgier.
do.
Everyone gets through, and he's going to do his final bit, and he sets it up just before the last act. And we don't know. Oh. So he asks a girl in the front row, he says, what do you do for work? And she says her job. And then he asks, would you ever consider being a Portuguese chicken farmer? And she goes, no. He's like, okay, interesting. I'll come back to that. And then when the last person goes up, he comes up and he's like, all right, I'm going to tell you the story I promised you I was going to tell you. Basically, a couple of summers ago, I went on this trip with my friend to Germany, and sorry, you again. You really don't want to be a Portuguese chicken farmer? And I internally just go, this is going to be the next 10 minutes. He is going to start a fake f***ing story about Berlin and bring us back to Portuguese chicken farmer because he's gone into his little Scrabble bag of words and found Portugal chicken farming. And he's like, these just sound random when they're put together. Ooh, he.
Wait, is the Scrabble bag words
No,
a thing?
but this is
okay,
me
right.
building, like,
Just
an
wanted
image.
to know if it was a writing
Like,
technique.
that's what he's done here.
Yeah.
I don't know how to really express to you and you what this was. Because I am being melodramatic. Like, fine, whatever. But it was like a prime example of just, wow.
No.
Wow.
Anything goes.
It just is this excruciating next 10 minutes where he is like making up this story of, well, one day there was a Portuguese chicken farmer and it was the 1930s and he wanted to be a spy for Britain in World War II.
So it's not like when he went to Portugal one summer and worked as a
No.
chicken farmer. It's just a
Not
random
at all.
story.
Random story that
Made
he's
up.
making up. It's entirely made up, the whole thing. And it's not funny. None of
I'm
it's funny.
confused. But the thing is, it could be more random. Like it's random, but it's not random enough.
No.
Portuguese chicken goes astronaut.
Katy Perry and Gayle King. Guys, I can't do it anymore.
You're quitting comedy.
I'm quitting comedy. So I need to issue a formal apology
Yeah, down the line, please.
to Neris. I love you so deeply. And I don't know how far you've got through the podcast listening. Episode 5, I've got a real bee in my bonnet. And I think just unfortunately you kind of take the heat. And it's not directed at you. I think I was feeling the stress, not to excuse me being extra bitchy, but the stress of the house shifting situation and, exhaustion from holidays. I think I was just a little run ragged. And I love you, honey. And I don't want that to shade our relationship because you mean a lot to me. And
nice.
to Charlie as well, because I do lean into him for not coming and looking after the cat. I just got a little carried away, essentially. Got a little carried away with the momentum and the energy. And, I can sometimes lean dramatic unnecessarily. And that is something I need to address when it then becomes me lashing out at other people. So I love you dearly. Don't take any of it as gospel because I'm a crazy person.
He was just showing off.
I was, essentially.
I want to say sorry to Frankie because I didn't really know who you were apart from the person who wouldn't listen to our podcast. So you know that I love you now, obviously. But please forgive me. I'm going to make Aidyn go on a tour of my garden now. And that is
make me do a tour.
Not a euphemism now that he's by.
We are going... Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I feel another episode coming on named after Aidyn. Aidyn comes out as by.
That might
Clickbait.
be the name of Abner. We're going to go to dinner at Nares and Charlie's. Charlie, I'm sorry I came after you. I didn't really come after you, but you know I love you, and it's fun to poke fun at you. And remember that I let you store you and Jesse's entire house in my garage for like 4 months without paying, so you're welcome.
That negates the whole apology.
All right, I love ya.
Bye. Hi, Julia and everyone else.
Hi, Julia. Hi, Frankie. Hi, Ollie. Hi, Jack and Jack. And Ree, and Ben,
Lauren,
and Henry,
and Denise, and Julia,
and Kate, and Matt.
Kate actually did listen to episode 1.
And Layla.
And Fee, and Sedona, obviously.
And Sedona, obviously.
Lauren Tudor Stubbs.
And all of Gay Misk, Bennett, Alex, Tom Richardson, Nate and Vince. Your jokes about shallots were well appreciated.
Very funny.
Very funny.
And we will be getting people to pay for those shout outs in the future.
Yeah.